Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode. We are going through putting in our veggie gardens at the moment whilst it's a bit cooler and preparing them for our no-dig gardens this week. And Steph is going to have a bit of a talk to you later on in the episode about how we are slowly building up our fruit trees and veggies for our gardens on a bit of a budget.
It's been crazy foggy around here lately, so the fog doesn't clear until lunchtime. So while we're working outdoors, we've started getting the bonfire going and just clearing some more wood.
Got the meter counter out because we're just trying to work out our garden bed rows. We've worked it out at 10 rows, which is 30 meters. But we've still got this whole area, which is way too big for a pumpkin melon patch, we think. So we're probably going to add 2 more rows and make it 12 beds. But I think we might just need to make the pond bigger down this end. Like put the pond as like a big pond area. Because we don't need that much garden space, maybe.
Just trying to get a bigger pond.
Is it working? He said no. I'll keep working on it. Got the young fella on the mower. These weeds are really getting on top of it.
We have grand plans for this space. So we're starting from the back corner. We just thought it'd be a little bit easier because it's not a nice straight square area that we're working with. So the end bit was always going to be a funny shape. So as I've mentioned already, this is just a really big area for our pumpkin and melon patch. They can sprawl and go wherever they like in this space. And then, we can also plant other things. I kind of have this dream of having my table and chair set sitting amongst all the vines. I just think that'd be really cool. We are on a budget, and so these wood chips were free, and we're probably going to use them for all of our other garden rows as well and just fill in the spaces with compost where we want to plant things. Somebody else gave me that idea. I believe it was Kayleen. So thank you so much. I appreciate the comment on my other videos. Definitely going to take your advice.
Getting a bit later in the day, but before we have some dinner, Tim's just trying to get this area leveled out so that we can get a couple more rows in. They've probably only got 2 more batches of mulch that they need to get to finish off this whole pumpkin melon patch. It's coming along nicely. And then we'll have a little road and then a row here, and we'll start following it along.
I wanted to give a little update on the new chooks. So the little chicks are doing really well, but our Wyandottes have grown up quite a bit.
2 little 13-week-old Wyandotte hens. Well, I guess they're still pullets, but it's their first time outside. I brought them out here under the lemon tree. I was just trying to get in there and hack some of it back because it is very overgrown. And they're enjoying scratching around. They seem to be enjoying themselves. The problem we have is trying to integrate a flock isn't always easy. Wyandottes are they take a bit longer to pick things up. So they took a bit longer to pick up the bucket feeder. They've taken a little bit longer to learn how to get around the end of the enclosure to get out. Like I had to pick them up in the end and get them out. So they kind of let themselves get cornered by the bigger birds. And I must admit, this flock, they're not rough, but I don't want to stress these guys out too. So I decided just to lock the other birds in the enclosure for now. They were already in there anyway. So this way they can enjoy a little bit of free range time without being harassed. And they look very happy.
Let's chat about starting a self-sufficient garden from scratch on a budget.
Alright, I grabbed an apple mint a few weeks back, but it needs to be potted up. And then I got a catmint on special for $1. So I thought I'd chuck that in there too. I probably need to put this in a bigger pot, but I'm going to try and give it a little bit of TLC. It's a lavender from Bunnings for $3, down from $15.45. So I'm going to give that a little bit of love and bring it back to life again. And I know it's really past the garlic season, but this tray of 7 was, I think there's 7 or 8, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, down to $5 from $10. So I just thought I'd chuck them in and we'll just give it a crack. They'll either work or they won't, but you never know unless you try. This is the problem. The dog wants to eat all the things, but I'm hoping these perk back up. I might even try and find my scissors and cut this one right back to freshen it up. So that's the catmint that I got for $1. That's the apple mint that I hear is really nice in a tea. I've already had to go and move my garlic over to this bed because for some reason Pepper wants to eat it, and I just don't think garlic is good for dogs. Oh. Anyway, that one's an experiment. We'll just see how it goes. How good's the kale? Look, I've actually been eating it, not that you can tell, but it's absolutely banging. The lettuces are getting there, slowly but surely. Same for the peas. As you would have seen, I'm a sucker for discount plants, and I managed to get a bunch yesterday, maybe the day before, last time we were in a town. Today we decided to do a road trip out to Hamilton. It's just a different town that we haven't really explored before. They had a couple of awesome nurseries out there, which we were pumped about because they had a really awesome discount section. So this is one of the natives that I've been looking for. It's a Myoporum. I used to have the ground cover style, but this is a proper tree. It can get to 5 meters high and 3 meters wide. And as you can see, it's got these gorgeous little flowers all over it. And we got this for an absolute steal at $5. So absolute pumped. I have already done research on what native trees and bushes I want, and then I did ask some questions about it in the last video and I had some great suggestions, so they've been added to my list. I had some really successful rosemary plants back at my old property that I couldn't bring with me, so I managed to get this one that's gone a little bit all over the place. She needs a good haircut. Another bargain. I think this one was $5 as well, so happy to have rosemary again. We use this all the time in our cooking. It's a really valuable herb for us. Now my husband's favourite citrus is Tangelo, and at the last house we paid, I think it was like $70 or something for a Tangelo tree. This was in the discount section for $10. She definitely needs a feed and a potting up. She's pretty unhappy in here. So what we'll do, we bought some proper citrus potting mix. Pepper! She just keeps eating the compost out of my mint that I planted up yesterday, and I've set up a table in a different area out the front here because I've already taken over this side, and it's going to go up there because she's about to kill it just by eating the compost. Dogs are so disgusting. Anyway, so for $10 we thought, you know what, let's give it a crack and we'll see if we can bring this baby back to life. She's got some life left in her, I reckon, so hopefully a bit of TLC and it'll be right on its way. Although it wasn't in the discount section, I have been searching for a really nice rhubarb plant. I know you can get the rhubarb, I think they're called crowns, from Bunnings in like plastic baggies for $15, but they're pretty small and you only get one in there. This beauty I managed to get for $10, so it looks really healthy to me. Now, Tim and our eldest Caillou absolutely love olives, and so these were really cheap, only $14 at Bunnings, and we're pretty happy with that price. It's just an olive tree, a Manzanillo. They had a different couple of varieties. One was really good for oil, but this one's really good for like it says table and oil. We really like this one. It's got a really nice straight run up the middle. It hasn't been cut at all. So it means that it's got a really nice leader. So when we get to the height that we want it to branch out from, we can determine that. So that's why we picked this one. And we do look for the same thing in all of our fruit trees. So even this Tangelo, there was 2 options. And the fact that it branches out here, we're really happy with that because that's at least around knee height. So I prefer them probably a little bit taller. I really like the idea of being able to get our lawnmower under, and we've got a ride on, so it's quite tall. I really love bringing you guys out to the garden because even though this is such a small area, this is the steps that we're taking to our self-sufficiency journey when it comes to food, because you've got to start somewhere. And the fact that I can even grab some nice fresh greens, fantastic. I've set up a space so that I've got plants that are for the future. And on that note, I want to discuss the orchard and how we're purchasing our trees. As you can see, if we can get them discounted, we're right there. And we've got a few techniques that we've been working with. I'll start with the canes. So this is a blackberry cane from my mum. She potted this up for me and we thought we'd see if it did okay here. They go pretty dormant this time of year, so I'm hoping this bounces back come spring. Again, from my mum, I've got raspberry canes because the likeliness that you know someone with plants that you can take cuttings from is quite high, especially if you're into gardening. So you might get lucky and find someone like I do and that's willing to share. All of our citrus plants, Tim went up to Mildura to collect some of our stuff from the Sunraysia area, and they are the area in Victoria that propagate and, you know, create the stock for a lot of the nurseries around Victoria. So while we were there, we found a supplier and we got them dirt cheap. There's actually quite a few suppliers that share on Marketplace, so if you are in that area, that's a really good place to look. I think we paid, it was like $15 or $20 per tree. And in the past, when we've bought citrus from that area, we've managed to get it as low as $10 a tree. So all of the citrus are 2 years old. And like I've mentioned, the Valencia is a dwarf variety and it was $5 dearer. But other than that, it was a pretty inexpensive way to get all of our citrus up and running. The only one that we didn't get for cheap up there was a kumquat. Ironically, it was grown up that way, but we purchased it down where we currently live. Now on to another method that we've been utilizing recently. Now we live kind of in a triangle between Portland, Hamilton, Mount Gambier, like that whole district. And so we have a bit of an option to go to places. We found the Bunnings in Mount Gambier has the cheapest fruit trees that we can find at the moment. Although we did just find a place in Hamilton are slightly cheaper for some trees. But what we've been doing is getting bare root stock because it's winter, so it's the perfect time to get them. They're slightly cheaper this time of year. We have got a pink lady apple. It's our favourite type of apple tree. This one, again, had a really nice tall leader before it kind of speared out. It's got a really nice vase shape to it. We're really happy with the quality. We have a Power Pass card, and this was $33 roughly. Now, the Power Pass saves you a couple of bucks per tree, and then we're there every fortnight to do shopping. So we figured what we'd do is pick up at least one tree and maybe something small if it's discounted. So like I got the lavender for cheap the other day and the garlic for discount. So that's how we're building up our orchard stock as well. The last one we got was a plum. This is a Santa Rosa plum, and it was the best one out of all of them with the straight leader. Again, probably needs a little bit of a trim before it gets a little bit chaotic in here, but the quality we were really happy with again. And yeah, so that's how we're building up our orchard. We will be getting that planted out probably in the next month. We'd like to get it all in by August, but we need to get some fences done first so the cattle don't eat them all. This is actually so fun to have this little section here because I haven't had a potting table or anything like that at all. This is actually really awesome. Now, I can't find, this is the trouble with moving, I can't find any secateurs that have a spring in it. Like, it's crazy. I probably should just use my kitchen scissors. That's okay. Now, I'm going to give this a really hard cut back, this lavender. I think something has been like caught this on the side and that's why it's looking so sad, but I'll see if any of these perk up in some water so I can propagate them. It's just, may as well, you know. It looks a bit rough when you cut them right back as well. But I used to cut my lavender back every year at the old house and I absolutely loved it. It'll also make it bushier, so it's not so spindly. The thing with gardening, they say you've got to be cruel to be kind, and I used to really struggle with cutting plants back and thinning things out, but I've realized that you get a way better plant in the end, a much better harvest. So you've just got to be a bit ruthless, I guess, sometimes. I guess that's just Mother Nature in a nutshell, isn't it? Here's our rosemary. I definitely want to propagate this. Hopefully, again, this is just going to bush right out now that I've given it a haircut. Looks better already. For $5, I don't think that's too shabby at all. Cheeky chickens. She wants to eat my rosemary. Alright. Back over here. Her and Beatrix, who I call B, are both, I think I worked out as 17 weeks old now, so. Now we'll see how the citrus potting mix goes. Hopefully that helps. Just cheer it up a little bit. Yeah, we'll just wait and see with that one. Lucky last is this beautiful rhubarb. I'm still going to plant some rhubarb seed for this season and just see if I can start propagating plants. Hudson, our almost 14-year-old, absolutely loves rhubarb. I'm hoping I can get some strawberry plants for a decent price. I mean, at the moment I just think they're so overpriced. It's so hard when you go from owning all of these things to starting from absolute scratch again. It would be really nice to get some strawberry plants because then I can make some strawberry and rhubarb jam. That would be lovely. I do also like making an apple and rhubarb pie filling and I can it up so that we've got it on hand. Cool. How cute. I don't know if I should have pulled that one off or not. What do you think? Anyway, I've left it there for now. Lovely. Now I've just had a thought about the dog situation and the chickens, and I'm just going to leave some of these up here. This is just a tray that I did the other day. I haven't planted anything in it and I won't be for a little while. But I just want to feed the soil, so like watering it and making it really healthy. So that's the update on the garden, and I hope it inspires some people just to start looking in the discount areas, looking for some bargains, finding some friends to swap and trade. It's actually really fun when you get stuck into it, and you know, it's one step closer to that self-sufficiency that is the goal, especially for people like ourselves that just want to step away from the supermarket, grow our own organic food and live a little bit of freedom. So thanks so much for joining us again this week, and we hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks guys, bye.